The thing about this particular class is that we're going to be doing a lot of focus on the science of sarf, which means morphology or conjugation of verbs. So the knowledge of sarf is indeed a third of basic Arabic. Morphology. So this means that all Arabic words outside of articles, and we'll be studying articles separately here and there as we had mentioned before, that all words generally come from a root of 3 letters. So that 3 letters, like kataba, this is a very common 3-letter root. You get kitab, you get maktab, you get maktaba, you get kutub, you get katib, you get maktub. Yeah, so many different things you're going to get out. You can even get more complicated. Iktitab, istiktab. There's so many different things that are coming from this one root. So what we're talking about is morphology. How you add different letters to add and change the original meaning. But it's all revolving around something being etched in or written, or a place where things are written, or something like that. Right? So that's one obvious example of the concept right there, inshallah.
Kataba is a word, verb, or?
So verb kataba is a past tense singular. So yeah, look here on the one that has alif at the top. It says sigh al-fi'l al-madi, right? It says the forms of the past tense verb. Sigh at the top next to the alif with the hamza. We have this one? Okay. So it says sigh, which is the plural of sigha. Sigha means a form. So sigh is forms. Al-fi'l al-madi, past tense verb, right? So you notice that usually somebody would start with the first person. But the reason why, if you look at this, he says al-thulathi al-mujarrad. Thulathi al-mujarrad. You see it says nu' al-jidr inside of the box of the graph, right? Remember, everything in Arabic starts on the right. So you have to, instead of the top of the page being up here, it's going to be over here. Yeah, so where you see it says Naw'ul Jidr. Naw'ul Jidr at the top right hand inside of the boxes. Right? That says the type of root. Right? Type of root is what that means.
So Jidr or Jidr?
Jidr. This is a dhal. Dhal. Jidr. Yeah. That's something that there's, I would say, half of all Arabs as well as Desi people always saying dhal as zat. Yeah. So this is that, just like when we say in English, this or that. It's a that. It's exactly the same way we say this or that. Now this is that, just like we say zoo or zebra, right? Zat. So this is obviously much different. The tongue's going to come between the teeth a little bit. The.
Not exactly the, but the.
The. It's the same. This, that, those, these. That's the same as that. This is the letter that. Like if you wanted to write this, you would just or you wanted to, those. That's exactly those in Arabic. Those.
So what about swad was?
Yeah, va is just simply taking the tongue from the, like va. Va is the tafkhim of that. So that is just that. This, those, these. Now, obviously, va is something not present in English.
I'm talking about the swad.
No, bob. That's a whole different letter. That's the tafkhim of dal. Kind of like. It's a lot more different. These two are basically the same spot. The tongue, right here. Huh? But with this one, it's a kind of an open mouth, smiley face, soft, that. Whereas this one is a closed, bunch mouth, vol. So this is a rough, tough, all, and that's just a that, right? So that's so it says Naw'ul Jidr at the top here.
The type of verb?
Type of root. Type of root. All Arabic words have a root.
Jadr means root.
Jidr.
Jadr means
Jidr,
root.
yeah. So there's a kasra and a sukun. Jidr. Okay, so under that it says thulathi mujarrad. That means three simplistic. Okay. So then you see next to this is at the top now. The next column. عدد الأحرف الأصلية. The عدد الأحرف الأصلية, the amount or number of original letters. Then it says عدد الحروف. عدد حروف الزيادة, the number of extra letters.
What's the meaning of the huruf?
عدد حروف الزيادة, the number of added letters.
Added.
The number of added letters. So he chose to use two different plurals. Ahruf and huruf both are the plural of harf. Two different plurals. That's just how it is. So you might say, well, why is that? I don't know. This is the Arabs, about 1700 years decided that.
That's the
So
language.
you can use either or. Any.
Ahruf or huruf, it's the same thing. Both of them mean the plural of harf. Now, in some cases, there will be two plurals, and there is a little bit of an indication of a different meaning. Not in this case.
Is
That's-
that for just this word or every word, like the formation, like alif in the beginning?
No. That's not a. The plural, the jam'a taksir, the broken plural, is just a matter of memorizing it. There is systems that you could apply 90% of the time, but there is no 100% flawless system. So it's mostly just memorizing it. But when you use a word, like for example, like shajara, right? There's ashjar,
That's true.
and then there's shajar, right?
That's also
Plural, yeah. So, like ha'it, hawa'it, right?
So plural, there's no like morphology.
You have to memorize them. Okay, so then it says أرقام الصيغ المشتقة وأوزانها. So this is using your hands ver. The sheikh here, this book was written by my previous sheikh who passed away a few years ago, Allah yarhamu. And he was very impressed with hands ver to the extent that he wrote his books using his system. Isn't that interesting? So, the next one, أرقام الصيغ. So this is the numbers of the forms that are that you will find in your dictionary. The number of the forms, and in your dictionary, those. How many of you have the hands ver? You have to have hands ver. Have to. No way around it. So it will come as under the when you find the root. The root will be in the form of the past tense verb he. Right? He did. Okay, so that will be number one, as you see. In all of these, the three under there, it says 111. It says alif ba jim. Somebody might say, why is that? Because historically, Arabs used to order it alif ba jim, not alif ba ta. That came later, and there's a reason. This is somebody developing upon that, but this is the old way of counting in Arabic. Okay, so fa'ala, fa'ila, and fa'ula. You see? The difference between these three under here is the first one has fatha, the second one has kasra, and the last one has dhamma. Okay, as you notice, these will always be the same in the root. Always, fatha. That's it. No question about it in the root. In a number one verb, these could be any one of the possible harakat. Right? So he's saying number one is fa'ala, number two is fa'ila, and number three is fa'ala. The reason why he's putting them in that order, because fa'ala is the most common, fa'ila is the next most common, and quite rare is fa'ula. Very rare. Fa'ula is generally meaning intrinsic, something intrinsic. So,
But these are all past tense verbs.
past tense verb. Yep.
Root verbs.
Root, yeah. So he gave you an example of each one. So what you see in the final one, amthila. Amthila, the last one on the far left. Amthila means examples.
So this one.
It is the plural of mithal. Mithal, amthila. Amthila, examples.
Examples.
Once again, this is tha. This is not sa. Tha. You have to be careful about that one. That's common in both Arab and Desi.
Basically,
Yeah. Yeah. You say mathal, not masal. I'm sure you know people named Saqib. His name's Thaqib.
No, but there are people who are sakib with just a sin. Sakib.
That's not a word.
In
Saqaba?
Urdu you have.
Oh, is it a word in Urdu?
Yeah, sakib, which is.
Oh, because I know Thaqib, you know.
But
that's-
the right would say,
The right would say, and then, oh, okay. So maybe.
which is just a local.
Because I have a friend Sakib, we always call him Sakib.
Alaykum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Everything clear now? So if you look under kataba, this is number one. Sami'a, number two. What do you put for number three? Hasuna.
So the column before the last column,
Mm-hmm.
what's the meaning? The number of, you said number of,
Yeah, these will be the. Do you have your dictionary with you?
no, not.
Did you bring your dictionary, sister? Oh, yeah. The dictionary is like your third arm in learning this stuff. It's like something that you cannot live without. I should hook this up. I'll do that at the break. Yes. So the next to last one, if you look in your dictionary, when you look up a word, it's either gonna be the root. The three letters are gonna be connected. That's how you're gonna find it in the dictionary, by roots. You're not gonna find it like English dictionary. You're not gonna look at the first letter, say meme, or like Muslim. You don't go and say, okay, look up meme. No, you're gonna look up where does Muslim come from. Sin lam meme, right? That's how you're gonna find it. So when you get there, you're going to find that Salima is what it's going to be. This will be number two. But as you see, they're all number one. They're just alif ba jim. They could possibly be all number one, these three different options. So you might find the word to be kataba or sami'a or hasuna. Could be either one. But this will be the first one, the first main entry into the dictionary. So as we go along, you'll see what this is, inshallah. Okay, so now, so you noticed, adad al-huruf is that there's no ziyada. These are the possibilities when you look for the actual root word by itself. Now, when we wanted to find aslama, right? Or the next one is going to be, for example, allama, is what he put for the example. So now if you look in the first row, thulathi mazid. So it's based upon a 3-letter root, but there is extra letters added to it to change the meaning, right? So you're looking up this word, right? For example, allama. Allama. You want to look up that word, right? So if you see the adad huruf al-asliya, all of these are going to be 3 because this is a 3-letter root original word, right? Pass this to the shaykh. Yeah. Oh, okay, you need these. Here we are.
I'm a bit lost in this.
Yeah.
I'm not able to follow it.
Yeah. Okay.
So is this thing to see how the words are in dictionary or what is it?
Yeah. What this is it's teaching you the basic reality of any root word, right? So you're learning the science of how letters form words in Arabic. Yeah. So this is very key to someone from your desire to learn Quran, to be able to say, okay, this is a word in the Quran. What does that possibly mean? Well, you can take the long route, which is to try to remember 5,000, 6,000 words. Or you can take the short route and memorize 100 roots and know how all those roots transform and morphologize into different words. You see what I'm saying? So I'm giving you the shortcut, but it's scientific. You didn't come to a class where I just give you a lecture, I just say this word means that. You're coming to a class to actually understand the science. So this is, I think maybe it will help if I go ahead and write some more, but I need to help you understand this form. One of the big intimidating things of this form is everything's in Arabic. Yeah. So as we go, do like he did. We need to ask questions. So, from the beginning, Naw'ul Jadr. Do you understand that? The type of root. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. So type of root. Pretty much all roots have 3. You can just go ahead right now. These 2 bottom ones, Ruba'i, Mujarrad, Ruba'i, Mazid, just cross those out. The two bottom rows. You won't need those. Why? Because only about 5% of all roots are there. 95% are the simple 3-letter root.
Okay.
كتب, سمع, شرب, جلس, قال, ذهب, خرج, دخل. We could go on and on and on. Everything that you ever deal with is going to be 3.
Lamasa.
Huh? Lamasa. He touched it. Yes. Naw'ul Jadr. The type of root. Okay? So, Thulathi Mujarrad, the first one is the one that there is no added letters to it. So it's just Kataba Sami'a, like we're saying. Now, Aslama would be number 4. See, look at number 4 in the 4th column. The 4th column, or Arqam al-Siyar al-Mushtaqa wa Uzanuha. Now look down as he has written the numbers, 1 through 10, that you'll be using. Number 4. You see, Af'ala.
Yes.
This is Aslama. So we've added 1 letter to the original root. So there's 1 mazid from the 3rd row on the. So there's 1 added letter, which is alif at the beginning,
Yes.
to the original 3, which is salima.
Yes.
So aslama, he gave you the example of akhbara, right? Okay. So this is kind of what we're doing here, inshallah. So we're looking how we're going to find different words and what are their roots. See, once you master this list, which is just 1 piece of paper, as we go over this paper in the next 40 minutes, 30 minutes.
What is the significance of adding alif there?
It's going to change the whole meaning.
Okay. So
Yeah,
is it
yeah.
interrogative or
Huh?
is it in the?
We have to write that down probably.
Huh?
Which explain it.
Yeah, don't right now. Don't worry about meaning. Worry about what it looks like.
Okay.
Right? This is
I
what
mean,
we're.
like you said,
we're here-
Fa'ala is more like it gives emphasis that there was struggle to do that.
Yeah, we went through that last time, but I think that's going to be more difficult for you. First, memorize what it looks like, then you know what it means after. Right? Just like when you learn the Arabic alphabet. At first, you don't know what it means, but you have to learn first what is alif, ba, ta, and all of that. Right? For you guys, it's not a problem because you grew up with that as Urdu. But for anybody who's not having that as their general alphabet, you cannot start saying, okay, here's what this means and here's what that is. I just want to know how to read the thing first. Yeah, this is where we're at. I want to know when I look at the Quran, this word, that word, which one is an article, which one's a verb, which one's a noun. How can I break it down to know what is its root so I can look up the word and figure out the meaning on my own, right? So I probably jumped the gun by going into the meanings of the different additives. If we do that right now, it's going to add a whole other element that will confuse you. So just right now, we want to get to the fact that there are certain structures that. So like here, let's just go ahead and go through them. Number 1, fa'ula, fa'ala, fa'ila, fa'ula. That's number 1.
Yes.
This is the bit. Kataba, sami'a, hasuna. Right.
Yes.
Number 2, allama, which is fa'ala. The basic root is fa'ala.
Yes.
So you have allama, you have nadhama, to organize, nadhama. You have
You have sallama.
Kharraja, to take out. Sallama, to say salam to someone, right? Or to give salam, or to give something up, right? Sallama. There's this sallallahu alayhi wa sallama, right? This means to give your peace to him. Yeah. So when we say peace and blessings, meaning we're giving our peace and blessings. They didn't just pop up out of nowhere. We're asking for them to come from Allah to Him.
Kullama is not part of this.
Nah, because that's an article. That's not a verb. So kullama just means always, or kulla and ma. This is two words put together. Kulla, all. Ma, what. So all what sounds strange. So it means whenever, right? Or what? Or yeah, whenever is what it means. Yeah.
So what I was saying, even though the format matched, but because these are
It did not match.
It did not.
Now look at this.
Alif and Ain.
Kallama, it means they both spoke to, right? Kallama Allahu Musa, right? But kullama, nah. There is no past tense verb that begins with that. We said,
Oh yeah, these two always have the.
aha. Yeah, so it did not fit. It's not the same. If there is a defined structure. There's always a defined structure. So as long as you master each structure, you will see why they're different.
If you put kaf, kullama, that could
You mean
be.
qaf?
It can't,
Yeah.
still it is.
No, that's not a word. There's no root with that. So that's where there's no such word.
Kul, kulu.
Qulu is like this.
Yeah, so
Yeah, this is past tense verb, which is this is indicating plural third person. This is originally qala, but when you have an alif, it always represents either waw or ya. It's complicated when you do the alif. Anytime alif comes out, things are going to get complicated, right?
So the root word for kul is what?
Qala, qawl.
Qa'ala.
No,
Qaf.
qaf, waw, lam. There is no
Oh,
such.
qaf, waw, lam.
Yeah, qaf, waw, lam. So the way you know is qawl. Qawl means statement.
Okay.
So that tells you that waw is the original origin of qala. He said this alif. It really means it is replacing waw, right? So this is what we call harf al-illa. Waw and ya and alif. We're not going to be talking about any of those until a long time. Until you've mastered the basic regular letters, right? These complicate things. There's a system for them, but it changes the system that you don't even know yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Memorize this.
Yeah, memorize this one, then we'll be good.
I have
Yes, brother.
difficulty understanding the number 3
Excellent.
for Allah,
Fa'ala, sharaka, right?
and the first one for Allah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I know that there's an added alif there, but
There
I
you
can't
go.
tell where it is.
Uh-huh. Where?
That number 3. For
Number 3?
Allah.
Okay. Now you're saying, what is the difference between 3 and 1? Is that your question?
Right. For Allah,
Uh-huh.
the number 3 there is added alif in there.
Yes?
I can tell where this alif is compared to for Allah, the number 1.
Number 1. Well, there's no alif anywhere in fa'ala.
Right.
Do you see an alif in there? Assalamu alaikum.
No.
Yeah, so that's what it is.
But when you pronounce it, there's regular difference, right?
La, big difference.
Fa'ala, fa'ala.
La. The problem is you guys maybe haven't mastered this same book that the Sheikh wrote. Okay. The first chapter is how do you pronounce and read Arabic, and he wrote this book for Arabs, obviously, because he knows they themselves don't know what they're doing, right? Yeah.
Oh, now it's
Yeah.
the difference.
So listen, pay attention. Fa'ala and fa'ala.
Right.
There's an a in there that we don't have in the next one. Yeah, fa'ala and fa'ala. Yeah, so we can't be lazy with pronouncing Arabic. We have to be, and that's what, to be honest, like I said, most Arabs, if you're listening to them, they just talk bunched up and quickly, right? That's why you should not be reading the Quran like that, because the Quran, we should be perfection with that. Okay, so fa'ala, number 2, allama. You added a middle one. The same one that is the middle, lam, you just add another one.
Shadda is there.
Yeah, you're going to put shadda. Because shadda means there are 2 letters, the same one. First one is sukoon, the second, like for example.
So no two support, so that's why Shadda.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
Can you say that?
Allah.
That's the same thing, Allah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's the letter. But Arabs decided, don't ask me why, but about 1700 years ago when they started formulating how to write their language, they decided, okay, when you get this, we're just going to put it like that.
Yeah, it's easier though.
Or to be honest with you, they didn't even put it like that. They just knew how to read it right because they knew the context and so forth. So that's that. So number two, basically, no matter what word, like for example, if you took jarraba. This comes from jim ra ba. So then you just, if you want to make it the second one, you're gonna add a ra. Jarraba.
What
Okay.
does that mean?
To try, to attempt.
And jaraba is he tried. Like
No, that's actually it's a little bit complicated. You're gonna get complicated. Let's not do meanings for now. Let's just see the structure and say, okay, I know what that is and where it came from. The meanings will come later. Right now, we want to be able to identify why it looks like that. Where is its root? See, the most important thing is to be able to use the dictionary. Because guess what? Then you can spend hours on your own time looking up words galore,
Right.
and you'll figure them all out on your own. But if you don't know how to use that, that's why many people say, I can't use the dictionary, and so it's difficult. Well, guess what? I have heard your word. I'm the teacher. I'm going to make you to use the dictionary. So let's wait till we worry about meanings, inshallah. Okay, number three, you're just adding an alif right after the fa and before the ayn. So like if you wanted to say, for example, kataba. Kataba, he wrote. Kataba, he wrote to one other person. I forget the meanings, but it's just going to add the alif and it's going to change them. Yukatibu and so forth. Number four, fa'ala, hadara, he came. Ahdara, he brought. So you add the alif. It's not always exactly like that. That's why we don't want to focus on that right now, because it can get complicated as well. The fifth one now, if you look in the third column, adad huruf al-ziyada, now we're moving to two. We're adding two letters,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So now things are going to get more complicated. So you add a ta to the front and another ayn. So basically, number 5 is number 2 with a ta at the beginning.
Okay.
You see?
Yes.
And that's ta'allama. So allama, ta'allama. Allama, he taught. Ta'allama, he learned. You see? He took in the knowledge. So, tafa'ala. This is number 6. So this is number 3, but you're adding a ta. You see? So it's a beautiful structure. It's not haphazard. And the difference here is fa'ala, me to you. Tafa'ala, back and forth. So he brought the example tamarada. Tamarada means we all spread diseases.
Contagious.
One person came in with a cold. Tamarada nas, and now everybody's cold. Got a cold now. Because they've been get back and forth taking it and giving it between them. Right? Okay. So now we have number 7. In fa'ala. So here, you're just taking the word itself and you're putting an alif and a nun with sukun on it.
Okay.
This is the passive. This is something you can etch it in stone very simply. Passive.
which one?
In fa'ala. So let's master in fa'ala as a meaning, as a structure, because it doesn't ever have any other possible way.
And what does passive mean?
Passive means it just happened that way. There's no it's not really someone did it. There's not really ever going to be a person as the doer. You're not going to write let me just.
Like in English, what would passive be? Give an
Passive
example.
means like the door opened, and you're like, how did it open?
Oh, there's no person who did it, so it's
If
like,
you come from the east, you might say the jinn did it. If you already said something in the air conditioning from the west, we have some logical, scientific explanation.
like something
right?
happened, but it doesn't say who did it. Who
Yeah, it happened on its own,
Oh.
right? It fell down.
Uh,
I put up a scarecrow in my farm, and then I come and it's fallen down. How did it fall down? It fell down. That's passive talk, right? Better get your English grammar together, brother.
Yeah, I know.
MashaAllah, you got all of the Arabic and the English, MashaAllah. It's good. Okay,
I'm a man.
so we'll make it easy, inshallah. Fataha. This is number 1, obviously, huh? Fataha. Now, in Fataha,
So always there will be alif with the kasra.
No, this is actually alif maksura. So if you have a word before it, البيت انفتح. البيت انفتح. Right? That means the house opened. I don't know, somehow it opens. Yeah. Yeah. Open house is iftitah. That's a whole different thing.
But if there's no word behind it, then it's always the kasra. In fataha.
Yeah, because that's how this particular one. All like ibn and ism, right? These are not hamza. There's no hamza here. There's no this. You will not see an ibn anywhere like that. It doesn't exist. Same thing with ism, right? There's no such thing like that. That does not. These are not words. Those words don't exist. This is what it looks like. It means this is just there to facilitate the beginning of a talk, because Arabs have decided, once again, a long time ago, they decided we cannot start a word with sukoon. It's impossible. So we have to add an alif and just be in or un. Right? So that's why. So that's what this is. It just starts with sukoon, so we just throw a kasra in there. The only one that always starts with alif is al-bayt, al-rajul, and all of that. It always comes with a fatha at the beginning. Okay, so in fataha means it opened, right? Right? You know fajra? Fajra? To come out of, to spread, right? In fajra? Explode. It exploded. Right? In fajra, right? When the bomb explodes, everyone goes, infijar! It exploded, right? They don't know how or who or what, they just know it exploded.
That's how the word fajr is, from night to the day.
Yeah, because the day break, the light just comes like that from one spot. Okay, so that's number 8. It's very easy. Or number 7, sorry. Number 8 is if ta'ala. He made a mistake here. Do you see where he put the right one in there, or I put it? Yeah. So there should be an ayn there. If ta'ala. So you see the ayn, it's missing in your. You have to make sure that it's clearly there.
So this is like one was passive, one was back and forth, something like that.
No.
Okay.
Don't worry about meaning. If ta'ala.
It's more fun with the meaning because you kind of, at least let us write it down.
So we'll look at the meaning right here. So he put i'taqada, right? So this is going to be complicated for you. It's not a set deal, but what they say aqada is to set something in stone. Aqada, to tie a knot. Aqad al-uqda, right? Wahlul uqdatan min lisani. So you've heard this one a lot from Moses. Okay, remove the tide from my tongue, right? Because he had this lisp. So aqada is like aqd al-zawaj. You're writing down, this is two people, we're joining them. Aqd.
Agreement.
You see? Their covenant. Aqd, right? So i'taqada, to believe in a covenant. Aqidah, right?
I'tiqad.
Yeah, i'tiqad. Very good. This is the nominal way to say this verb. Right? This didn't come up yet. We don't want to confuse you completely. MashaAllah, the brother's advanced. Alhamdulillah. Okay.
So let's review 7 and 8 again.
Okay.
And if.
Yeah.
So.
Let me help you let me help you to see this, right? In fa'ala and if ta'ala.
Right.
We want to make sure, because to be honest with you, I'm remembering whenever I first learned this, I had a problem, especially when the first letter of the jidr is what? Noon. Now.
Oh yeah, because then
Yeah.
how do you do that?
Yeah, so that's one thing. Then you have, if the first letter of the jidr is ta. So you're going to have in
Wouldn't it become like a shadda, like atta?
So that will come. But right now, let's just make sure we understand how they look and why they're different. So we have here what it use in qalaba. Yeah. So inqilab, so inqalaba, it means it fell over, it rolled over, right? So they say inqilab or inqalaba. We say the ruler inqalaba, like very soon inqilab Bashar Assad will come, right? Inshallah, we're all praying for it. Yeah. So this means
Revolution.
obviously you can say that the people tharu, they made a revolution. فَانْقَلَبَ الْحُكُمْ, the rule itself was turned over. You see? You don't say they inqalabu. You know what I'm saying? Inqalaba is an intrinsic passive word, right? So it itself
It just
has
happened.
flipped over, yeah. So inqalaba. So now I want you to just kind of. And what did he use for it? I'taqada. Okay, so if you'll see here, you have to pay attention to jidr, root. Remember, fa, ayn, lam, it is referring to the first, second, third letter of the root. So here, before the root even begins, we're adding alif and noon, just like it is here. So this is the fa, this is the first letter, that's the second letter, and this is the third letter of the root, right? Whereas here, no. The first letter of the root comes after the alif. Then we added a ta, if ta'ala. So this is added and this is added to fa, ayn, lam. Right? So this is the first letter of the root, that's the second, that's the third. These are additions. Just like these two are additions here. You see now? So that's how you'll be able to tell the difference. Now, so say for example, see I didn't bring my hands because I assumed everybody would have brought their hands after all the big deal I made. How many has hands
I haven't got it.
No, you have to. By next week, we gotta have it. Inshallah. Okay. So, the number 9 is very, very easy. If'alla, so you add a lam. The same one that's the last, you add another one. And obviously you add the alif at the beginning. So, this is simply with colors. Or handicaps. I know this sounds strange.
What?
Handicaps. Like i'wajja. Like i'wajja, it means to be crooked. I'wajja means somebody's their leg broke and they're walking limping, right?
Talking about
I'wajja.
the word akhdar.
Yeah. Akhdarra again became green. They made it green. Somebody ihmarra, asfarra, all of them. Aswadda, iswaddat wujuhuhum, right? Muswaddat wujuhuhum. Or ibyaddat wujuhuhum. You see, this is if'alla. Their faces became white, their faces became black. So it's like the passive of number 7, but it's just with colors or handicaps. So outside of colors and handicap, you will never see if'alla. You see? You'll never see it. Colors have no other verb that they use besides this one. So there's no other form. When it's a color and it's talking about making something a color,
Yeah. But the color itself can be akhdara or
Mhm.
aswad or just
yeah.
the color itself, like green.
Yeah.
You just want to say green.
yeah, that's
Akhdara.
akhdar. But again, it became green,
Oh,
ikhdarra.
akhdara.
It was made to be green, ikhdarra. Like if we came in here and this room was black, we'd say iswad al-fasl,
What is this one?
the classroom.
Classroom.
And the last one, istif'alla.
You're not doing that, you said, right?
No,
The last one.
Yeah.
This one.
Number 10. This is where you add 3.
Is stuff.
Alif, S, Alif, Sin, Ta. Alif, Sin, Ta. So istif'alla, istif'alla,
Stuck.
like istakbara, right?
Stuck.
No, you have kibr, to become big. Istakbara, I want to become big.
Oh, this is like I want to.
No, it's not I want, it's seeking, to try to attain the root word, right? So no, we're taught that no one should be seeking to be any more than they are as a trait of humility, right? There's istaflaha, for example, somebody sought success, right? That is a whole different, istanjah, right? Somebody seeking to succeed. It's one thing to try to seek to become like ista'lam right here, seeking knowledge, right? Ista'lam, he gave you as an example.
Istiqbal.
Istikbar is the noun way of saying istakbara, right? Istakbara, it means that the person is arrogant, haughty, pride-based. This is seeking to be more than you are in the eyes of people. This is really what that's what it means. So if you got like istakhraja, kharaja, to leave, right? Istakhraja, to try to take it out. So akhraja, to take it out, for sure. I'm akhrajtuhu. Like an istakhrajtuhu, I'm trying to take it out. I'm seeking to do it, right? But I'm not.
Right, if the how it changed the meaning to the fa'ala?
Yeah, it's gonna
Fa'ala
mean
meaning-
it's gonna, so tafa'ala and ifta'ala can mean adding extra effort, and like we talked about, like kasaba and iktasaba, right? On the ayah we talked about. So iktasaba, to work hard to earn or to gain. But kasaba, I just earned it. Something I do naturally. It's something very natural to me. Like I'm a guy who owns a shop. Some 5 people come through in a day and they're like, okay, I want to buy this and buy that. I sell it to them. Kasabt, I've earned some money today. But if I go out and I have to go buy this material and that material and make something, and I spend all this time making it, and iktasabtu, I'm working very hard, right? We would say most painters or athletes or somebody iktasabu, because they're very hard workers at the training, what they go through every day. You know, like you're talking about 6 hours every single day of hard training towards your job forever. Like most people, the way it works in most jobs, like you learn a trade, now you've learned it. It comes natural. You just do it every day, simple, whatever it is, right? But some jobs require everyday workout, research, and all this. Okay.
So for Allah is like that continuously.
Fa'ala.
Fa'ala,
For Allah.
Which
Number two.
number 2, fa'ala, yeah. No, fa'ala, yeah, it can mean do it various times or continually. It can be different. Don't worry about the
But
meaning
we
right now.
practice it.
Here's the thing. What we're trying to do here is not to learn the meanings of everything. We're wanting to be able to look into the Quran. Like, let's take a look. Let's take a gander and see what we can come up with from these verbs. For example. For example, afsada. Right, afsada. What does afsada mean?
Fasad is
I
like.
don't know, but I know that this is af'ala. I know it's number 4. I know af'ala very well.
Yeah.
So if I want to look up the word in the dictionary, I know not to go to hamza. I know to go to fa, because that is the fa from fa'ala, afsada, right? So this is what we're doing. So for example, ahya, ahyakum, right? Ahya comes from ha, ya, waw, right? Hayat, right? So that's how you're going to, istawa, right? This sounds complicated. It seems like it might be number 10, but it's actually number 8. You know why? Because sin, waw, ya is the root. So istawa, ifta'ala,
No, it's
You added
alif and ta. You see? But this is a tricky one because ist, at the beginning you think it has to be number 10, right? But then you look at the end, wa, and you see there's only 2 letters. So what's the other root? So that's istawa could also be ifta'ala, sin wa, right? Nuqaddisu lak, qaddasa. Which one is that?
qaddas fa'ala.
Fa'ala, number 2.
Yeah.
Number 2. Istakbaru, istakbara, istakbara. What's the root? Ka, ba, ra. It's number 10. Exactly.
Yeah.
أخرجهما. How do we He says فأخرجهما. Well, you will learn, it will come natural that fa and waw are just connector, then and they come in a lot, right? So أخرج is what? Number 4, right? So next week we're going to do the because after we take this small break, we want to take some particular words. But next week we're going to take all of these past tense and show you the system. Like for example, from number 2 to number 10, there's a set system. The alif ba jim from number 1, fa'ala, fa'ula, fa'ila. That is you memorize it. You have to memorize it. Yeah. But 2 through 10. So we will learn it next time, but I'll just show you. Allama yu'allimu, right? Qaddasa yuqaddisu. So the next one, alama yu'alimu, right? For
That's
example,
not in here, right? That's you're adding.
next time I'm gonna show you how to make past tense to present tense.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So fa'ala yufa'ilu, af'ala yuf'ilu, tafa'ala yatafa'alu, yatafa'alu from tafa'ala, right? Then you have in fa'ala yanfa'ilu, ifta'ala yafta'ilu.
You're adding yeah.
We're adding yeah, but we're putting a kasra and sometimes fatha. So we were just going to show you how it goes. So now you're going to have a big tool. So then after that, we're going to learn how it might be. For example, yafta'iluna. What is this una? This is a
Sound plural.
yeah. This is meaning the plural of third person of the masculine. So once you get all those things down, now you can look in the Quran. Any word that is a verb, you have no problem with it, which is a large percentage of the words.
So you're saying the verb always starts first in a sentence, right?
No,
Oh, that was.
that's common. That's common, but yeah, like you would say, قال الله, not Allahu قال. قال الله إني
Yeah,
متوفيك
so verb and then whoever did it. Like
Right,
noun.
that's common. That's fluid, pure Arabic. But with the influence of English and all the other languages that have no such thing as a verbal sentence, meaning you always have to start with a noun, right?
No, but like the Quran is pure Arabic.
Yeah, so you're going to find that a lot, right?
So, if I take any word from Quran and translate into one of these 10, so it's easy for me to.
No, not anywhere in the Quran. We're just on verbs right now. This is verbs. So right now we're studying verbs. I'm going to leave you guys, those that were late, we translated the important parts of this thing that you have. Without those translations, this is physics. So I have no idea what I'm dealing with here. So can you all help them with the translations, inshallah? I'm going to go put this on my charger because I have to go across town after this. Inshallah.
Typo.